Policy committee meeting called to order at 3:30 p.m. First up on the agenda are policies DCBDA and GDBDA regarding bereavement section. And you guys had wanted me to pull those and look at what other districts have in their bereavement policies. And I sent that to you for you guys to look at. I pulled Raytown, Cameron, Platte County, and Savannah. And the only huge difference I could see, or not huge, just difference that I could see, is that they, some of them include aunts, uncles, along with the immediate family. Some of them don't require a proof of it, like the obituary or whatever. So I don't know what you guys want to do. If you want to change it, it's fine. If you want to leave it as is, it's fine too.
The reason that I was interested in it was to have a look if other districts required doctor's note and then who was all included, if it was only immediate family or not.
The way I understand it, ours immediate family, you don't have to have proof.
Correct.
Is that right? It's only those that are not immediate
Have extended
family.
family.
Have extended family.
Or friends.
Yeah, or friends, that type of thing. Raytown says immediate family is employee spouse, parents, children, children's spouses, father or mother-in-law, brother or sister-in-law, grandparents, grandchildren, and siblings.
And legal guardianship.
And any other
So,
person
like
over
a
whom the
foster
employee
child.
has legal guardianship.
Right.
They do not ask for any verification. Cameron district says they may require verification. Their immediate family is
Pretty similar.
pretty much the same as what Raytown's was. Yeah. Platte County.
The one thing that's not shown here are the in-laws
Yeah.
for both of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Savannah's the only one that shows require verification.
Because I'm looking at ours and am I just
Savannah's is
noticing
may
about
require.
May
about
require, yeah.
requirement of verification?
Mm-hmm. And the only ones we require are ones outside of what we call immediate family,
Right.
you know? And I think where people are questioning is aunts and uncles,
Right.
but,
Well, in some cultures, those aunts and uncles aren't related.
yeah,
I'm an auntie to several
Yeah.
children, and I'm not related.
yeah, exactly.
So I think that could be the sticky point.
Yeah, it definitely could.
Also, the question, can you let me know the page number about ours, about the requirement?
Yeah. Let me get it pulled up here and I'll be able to tell you.
Are you looking in the employee handbook, Donna?
Huh?
Are you looking in the employee handbook?
No, I'm looking at the policy.
Okay. Are you in GCVDA?
Yeah. I think it's on this page. Yeah, it's on page 5 at the bottom.
Of GC or GB?
It's in both.
Okay. It doesn't mention anything about the proof though in there.
It doesn't, not up to here.
It does not. Is that just in,
It's in
The
the
handbook?
DCD.
No, I looked at them both.
Yeah, it doesn't, either, on either one of these pages, it doesn't.
well, Brian?
So are you wanting to clarify that, Latanya?
Why are we still
I would
asking
like it
for that if it's
clarified.
not in policy?
Because it's,
Didn't realize we were still asking for it. I thought we quit that last year.
Uh-uh,
oh no, they're still asking for it.
no, they're still asking for it.
So who's
If
doing that,
it's,
the principal?
if it's outside,
For funeral or for bereavement?
I don't know.
So bereavement doesn't show anything.
Bereavement doesn't.
Bereavement, I'm 99% sure we don't ask for it. Funeral, I think we
Which
still.
that would make sense because bereavement is immediate family.
Right.
Yeah,
So
But
if
if,
that
like, my
funeral,
college roommate dies and I want to go to his funeral,
right.
then we would require me to show.
okay, so, but aunts and uncles would fall under that too because we don't
They're not
clarify
listed.
them as immediate family.
Okay. I don't know.
I think that's where the stickler part of it was.
Okay, let me look,
Yeah,
let me go back up and look. Where is it mentioned about the funeral?
That's a different heading.
Yeah.
different-
It is on page 4, number 8.
Okay.
It says funeral of those not listed in bereavement leave. With prior approval, employees may attend the funeral of people with whom they had a close relationship. Documentation of attendance at the funeral must be submitted within 5 days of the absence.
So that's like my college roommate or
Right, so
Susie down the street.
Yeah.
the
My
difference
neighbor.
there is.
Right.
Yeah, exactly,
Relationship is-
exactly. You know, because funerals can be, yeah, a friend, you know,
My son's friend,
yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I think if they want to add aunt and uncle to the bereavement list, that's fine.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
I can see where aunt or uncle, that would be a case where you might want bereavement time. But for the rest, I think it's a good idea to ask for the verification.
I would like to include aunt or uncle. Does this also include like step parents or not?
I think they were in that list.
but they're part of parents, right?
they would be part of parents. I would think they would fall under parents. And Brian,
I think that was,
yeah,
they're
Yeah.
mentioned even in the bereavement wording.
yeah. It doesn't say specifically step parents, but
Yeah,
they would still be a parent,
Right.
yeah.
okay. as we're looking at the policy, I never know. A lot of them are kind of open-ended or vague, and I would
Yeah,
hate there to be a problem. Okay, well, your dad already died. No, this is my stepfather. you
Yeah.
know, So,
yeah,
Well, and that's legitimate these days
Yeah.
because so many have more
right,
than
sure,
one
right,
parent,
yeah,
father or mother.
yeah.
I'm that way, so.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's up to you guys. What do you want to do with this?
I would like to bring to the board about aunts and uncles.
Okay,
And then, I mean, I would just like the board's opinion about how exact they would like the policies. Just because there's always questions over items are not clear enough or exact enough, you know?
yeah.
Well, then these aunts and uncles, you want them blood relative? And not just because you're familiar with the family?
I think that we should ask the board as a whole. I don't think that I want to make the decision myself. Because the problem is that I have two uncles who are closer to me than my blood uncles, you know, so.
So they're not blood uncles, they're just people
No.
that you call uncle,
That's what I'm
which I
getting at.
get. I
Yeah.
have that too. Makes sense. Then you could have that with mom and dad too, because there are people
Right.
that are not my biological parents, have nothing to do with me, and I call them mom and dad.
Yeah, so you're getting into
You're getting
sticky ground here.
into a lot of weeds there, kid.
Exactly. And I would like everyone's opinion on where to cut it off at the weeds, you know?
Okay,
But the difference is whether district pays or they can take that leave time or
Right.
they take it off on their own.
Mhm.
Right.
That's the point.
right. Right.
It comes down to when does it come out of their employee leave or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Either way, they're paid as long as they have leave, but it's.
right.
Well, that's what I mean. It
Mhm.
could get pretty sticky.
Okay, well, we can put it on the agenda just for discussion then.
I would like to, yes.
Okay, all right, then that's what we will do. You good with that one? Ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay. Policy B.
Thank you, sir.
The rest of these are all from MSBA, and most of them are, well, all of them are because of legislation.
Right.
BDDB, which is agendas. Basically, what they are looking at is the fact that they want all board members to be able to add things to the agenda. And by everything that I looked at on here, we are already following this, even with the
That's
changes.
what I thought
Yeah.
too.
So I would recommend that we just take it to the board as adopting it as is.
Because we're doing it.
Because we're already doing it, yeah, yeah.
It's what I was thinking as well.
Next policy is BDBH, which is public participation at board meetings, once again.
Hold on,
Yeah,
hold on.
BDBH.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, there it is. Once again, we're already following this. There's nothing in this that's any different than what we are already doing.
have a couple questions about this.
Sure.
This is not the same as audience participation, correct?
It should be.
Yeah, it is.
That's public.
Yes, that's public participation, same thing, audience participation.
Okay, because when I was looking at it, it included, the board creating a community engagement policy.
Right, and that's a policy that they have. It's policy KC, which is in this deck too.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then, I think the part that I had a question about was, let me find it in my notes. Question. Okay, like on the notes it says, in the agenda items, portion of the policy, it states that the residents, can add an agenda item at least 5 days prior to the meeting.
That, well, that is because some districts get their audience participation ahead of time.
Okay,
Because our requirement is.
Our
that if they
requirement
want to-
is that you have to show up to the meeting and submit your item the night of the meeting. The problem with getting it ahead of time, people will send stuff in, but they won't show up to the meeting to speak to it. And then all you're doing is having me read it, and that's it.
But it also has to pertain to the agenda,
Yeah,
correct?
still has to pertain to the agenda.
right. Only reason I was asking about this is that, over the community engagement portion, about the policy, and then it also mentions a portion that we don't do, like, about the adding on 5 days prior.
Right.
Should we alter that part then?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't do that portion?
Right.
So our district, our policy would be different than necessarily the whole
Mm-hmm.
state.
Mhm. Because just in my opinion, that does no good.
Mhm.
If somebody is not gonna show up and speak on their own to what their issue is. All it is having
You and
me
the
or whoever
administrator do the extra work.
read it,
Right.
you know, and what good does that do? I didn't, you know?
So how do you want to word that, Latanya, or put it before the board? How do you want to, just remove it altogether?
It begins on, let me find it, page number 2. And if it's a thing our board is not interested in adopting or doing, we should discuss removing it.
Where are you talking?
I'm looking at, BDH, page number 2, beginning with agenda items.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay. And then it mentions in accordance with the law and the district's community engagement policy, district's residents may place items on the agenda of a regular scheduled board meeting as outlined in the policy. But this is not a thing our district ever does. And I really don't know, are we even able to remove it or alter it in some way?
But because it's a state policy?
Because it's in accordance with the law and the district engagement policy. I mean, I don't want to remove it and then we're in violation, but I also agree, I don't want to leave it and then we're having a lot of
Well,
wasted, and it's a lot of extra work for Donna.
Correct. So we have accepted this at one time then, is that correct? Or is this just now,
this is new.
this is the new?
It's modified, it's completely.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, but
It's up to us to accept it or
it's,
not, right?
yeah, they still, if you read the next paragraph, it says residents who wish to place an item on the agenda must first meet with the superintendent or designee to attempt to resolve the issue unless the superintendent or designee waives such a meeting. So they still have to go through the proper channels
Right,
before it is placed on the agenda, which
Right.
is what we have always done.
yes,
So I think it's fine as is.
because that's also listed on
And the other one,
page number 3 in the red. It's just marked out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because they changed it.
So they can present it, it doesn't necessarily mean it gets on the agenda if it's resolved ahead of time.
Right, right.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah, because they just changed it. It says from time to time, the board will schedule a public hearing to receive input on matters of community concern, such as setting the tax rate, which we do. The calendar, we do, you know. Yeah. And it says district will be provided such notice of these hearings, which we do.
We do.
We post our meetings.
I just think that the only difference is now is that people, I mean, I guess it's just more clear and outlined, especially after we look at KC, the community engagement policy.
Uh-huh. Which I talked to Kendra about that, and she said that policy is totally tied to MSIP 6, and she said we are following it. We have it all in our MSIP 6, so she said she was fine with it.
I guess that we can leave it as is and just hope everybody reads it.
Well,
They're not going to, they're gonna read parts of it and then do
yeah.
some insisting,
And I mean,
but
like I said, what it says, we are doing. We are doing that. Anybody can call and say they would like to have something placed on the agenda. And my first response to them is, what is it? And let me get with the superintendent and he will call you back and talk to you about it. And normally what the superintendent does is they'll call whoever the president is, inform them as well. And then they go from there. I mean, if it's something that can be resolved with the superintendent, then he just takes care of it. Because 9 times out of 10, what people are
That's what
wanting
it
to
is.
put on the agenda is something that they're mad about
some beef, yeah.
in school that
Yeah.
needs to be resolved down the line instead of within a board meeting.
Through the channels that they
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you want to recommend this one for adoption?
Yes.
Okay. The next one is IGCB, which is virtual courses. I had Ashley look at that. She was fine with it. She said they already knew this was coming and this is what they plan to do.
Right. I'm okay with this one.
Okay. it had the administrative procedure that just went with it, but she was fine
Right.
with it as well.
I love those, that there's one sentence left.
Yeah, yeah. The MOCAP virtual courses, which was the next one, I think she's already spoke to you guys about that. They knew it was coming too, so they're good with that.
Yeah.
That is,
Yeah, we've talked about that.
yeah, yeah. And then the only one, oh, JECA,
Yes.
eligibility to enroll,
Mhm.
I like this.
which I put that past Ashley as well. I actually put it past all of them, and they were all good with it. They didn't have any questions on it, so we all knew that was coming as well.
Yeah.
That's what I said, a lot of these, it's because of Senate bills and stuff, and we really don't have any say.
Yeah. I've been following this one a while, and I knew that it was coming too, so.
Yeah, I figured you did. And then the only other one we had was the Casey, which is a new one, and it's the community engagement.
Right.
But since we're in the middle of the facilities planning stuff, we are doing that anyway. We've been doing it and still plan on doing it. So, like I said, we've got that in our MSIP 6 thing, so I think we're good on them.
Yes. The only question I think I have about this one
Mm-hmm.
was the creation of the community engagement plan.
True. And I'm not sure, cause I wasn't in the,
Is
whatchamacallit
this-
meetings.
Is this not through Vision Forward?
No, this is separate.
This separate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very specific. If you look at the examples they give, you need to have a plan,
Okay.
a
Right.
general community engagement plan. Not for a
Right.
specific topic like facilities or finance, just
Just
a
in
general. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. And you could probably do that in
Well-
something like, a work session or something. I mean, it's almost like a
Yeah.
strategic plan for the board, not for
Right,
the
right.
administration. It's the
Exactly.
board's
Just us.
community engagement plan, how
Okay.
you're gonna, and we of course
Engage.
assist, but how do you all see engaging with the public? That's what it looks like to me. I may be
Okay, I
wrong, but
think
that's
you're
what
right.
it looks like,
I think you're right.
so.
Well, that's up your alley, sister.
Because it's
volunteered, apparently.
an evaluation piece to it, I mean, it's,
I would like.
this is new and it's definitely detailed. But
That's-
I think this is a work session type activity
Yes,
that
yes,
you all would
I
need to come
agree.
up with.
I agree.
So-
That's the meeting that I had on our calendars.
Yes, I
That
saw
I had
that.
to cancel.
Uh-huh, yeah.
That's what we
What
were
that
going
is.
to
Mhm.
address.
Yeah, so,
And Kendra came in and she couldn't make that meeting, that's why we did.
okay.
Are we
Yeah.
able to schedule a meeting after the election in order to?
Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
And I can check with other school districts, other PR people to see how they're handling
Kind
it.
of get samples.
And kind of see what they're gonna do as they move forward, if you'd like me to.
I would.
Yeah, that'd be good,
Yeah.
that'd be good. But we can go ahead and recommend this one for adoption. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, kids,
Perfect.
I think we're good.
All right.
Mhm.
Half an hour, that was
All
perfect.
right, we'll get better, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Stay
I
home and
definitely will.
make those children wait on you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, let us know if that happens.
Yeah. All right, well, I will call this meeting adjourned then at 4 o'clock.